Today's scouting mission, just for bow season, so I'm not in a big piece of woods at all, but I wanted to show kind of how I use onX to mark potential. I say potential because you never know where these deer are going to bed. Thick areas that, you know, they'd seek shelter in when the pressure's on them, and also where they are in reference to food. And this year there's plenty of acorns, apples, all the fruit trees are loaded, but I got a camera with me I'm gonna put out in hopefully in relation to one of those, see if I can get some daylight activity. The season opens in about 3 weeks. Coyote's got that one. So this is my first food source right here. This oak tree is loaded to the hill with acorns. So what I'll do, bring up the onX app and mark this as a food source. Then as I continue my trip, as I find potential bedding areas, I'll mark those as I go, and be able to go home, put it on the computer and look and see where potential travel could be. Is that foolproof? Hell no. They just bed seemingly wherever, but it's, I guess, your best odds. So continue up here and see what I find. I found this game trail, this bank. It's kind of steep, but it kind of goes down through there, and there's another one right here. You can kind of see it right up through there, and they meet right in here. This one goes that way, and that one goes down there. They're both heading down towards that oak tree I found. I haven't seen another oak tree, so that might be good for me. I've been walking this ridge. It is just loaded with oaks. This whole ridge down through here is just loaded. Like, I'm almost getting hit in the head with them. I think I'm gonna find a spot and set that camera up. I'm also gonna scout across the road too, so I don't really want to set it up just yet, but this spot is definitely going to be a good one. It'll at least give me an idea of what's in the area. I might set it up on that deer run in the bank, because it comes over this ridge into a field. Kind of a smaller spot, just a nice quick one to get into a stand from, but yeah, it's she's a gooder. So I'm actually going to use onX now to I'm going to mark where the camera is, so when I get down to the road, or if I come in to check it, I can have the straightest shot to it. I don't have to come up wondering where I put it and spreading more center around than I already am, which is bad enough. I'll mark my current location, and then I can adjust it with the tag trail cam. So when I come down the road, I can look and see, okay, there's the waypoint, there's where the camera is. I'll park right here, and it's straight up that hill. So onX is a pretty useful app. I use it quite a bit, but yeah, I feel pretty good about this little spot. Go across the road and see what's over there. So far across the road is real thick going. I'm gonna look real close, and I imagine I'll find some bedding in here. You hate to see it. This guy's got the freaking crookedest tree. Look at this thing. Alright, it looks pretty straight on camera, but I don't see a game camera. Maybe nobody uses it anymore. But I found this little oak stand here, which might be what he's trying to shoot. Public land. What do you do? I found this this crossing. The deer using to cross that brook, but it's kind of if you look behind me, it's steep right there. It's steep over here. This is kind of the easiest travel route down through here. And it looks like they come up through, and there's a buck track. There's quite a few deer tracks, but there's a small buck track in over here. See, it's just a little one, but there's another view of it right there. Definitely remember this spot's here for sure. For sure a good spot. The further I walk this brook, the better it gets. I just found another crossing down through here. A couple other looks like 2 different buck. Through and look at this run. Straight up there. Something new I'm gonna try this year is hunting more from the ground. I know it's better to get in the tree and get out of their sight and their scent, but I only got one tree stand, one climbing tree stand, and it's loud, it's heavy. You can get in so many other places, just slip in, make no noise, get set up, and just tuck yourself up on some of these banks. I mean, you might as well be at a tree stand. So that's something I'm gonna try different this year, is hunt more from the ground. But yeah, keep going up this brook. Found another one. I'd like to put a camera on one of these runs, but I don't have another one with me. What I'd normally do in years past is I'd come back another day with a camera and set it up. Well, I've already been in here today. My scent's already in here. Might as well go home, get a camera, come back in, and get it set up, and then I don't have to come in here until I can have a bow in my hands. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go right now, head back to the truck, go home, probably make some lunch, grab a camera, come back, set it up, and I can continue my scouting for the day. I also found this spot here. It's so behind me, it's pretty much straight down to the brook. The brook runs down there. It's all open out in front of me, and there's a deer run. Comes down through here and then drops down again, down and crosses the brook. Well, there's these dead hemlock branches that fell from this this hemlock trees, and I kind of got like a little like ground blind kind of set up right here. I could just stand here and I could draw back and kind of step out. I might have a shot, but yeah. There's all kinds of spots in here to keep in mind. I couldn't put the camera where I wanted because I started getting lit up by yellow jackets, but I ran up this bank and I think I evaded them. So anyways, I was gonna continue up this brook. That's where I wanted to put the camera, but I was gonna go up a little further, and I was gonna cut up here and see what's at the top of this ridge. So I guess I'm doing that early now. So I figured out what those runs are crossing the ravine for. Behind me is some pretty thick, what's most likely bedding cover. Up this way, there's a few old apple trees up here that have been long since forgot about, but they're loaded with apples. So I'm going to put the camera up by those trees, and I'm gonna be out of here, and yeah, I'll be back in a few weeks for opening day, probably. Yeah, good day of scouting, other than getting stung by bees, but that's alright. Oh. I ate quite a few apples. My stomach's a little turning, but anyway, thanks for watching.